flower for a penny, a flower for a penny, just a penny. Extra, extra, read all about it. Merchants, they said, New York History, New York Times newspaper, evening edition. Lovely day today. Oh, I thank you, darling. Thank you very much. So what shall we do today? Let's go buy some bread. Oh, stop! Stop! It's Oscar! Help! I'm back to the spirit! No! Oh, he died. It's okay, sister. I hope that it's totally. It's just a little bit, but not too much. That's just a flower for a penny. Flower for a penny. Flower for a penny, just a penny. A flower for a penny, just a penny. A flower for a penny. Have a nice day.
So, little Sarah, how do you like New York?
Yours, Papa, so I like it very much.
And how does Miss Emily like it?
She also likes it. We've become quite close friends.
I would buy you a dozen dolls if I thought they would keep you happy while I'm away.
No, Papa, they don't have more than I could be fond of. Emily's very special to me.
Well, it did seem as if she were just waiting for you to find her. How about we grab a quick treat before we go on?
Izzy, did you hear the new girl arrives today? I wonder what she'll be like.
I heard Miss Minchin say that her papa is the captain of a ship and that he's very rich.
That is so exciting. Do you think she goes with him on a ship?
I don't know, but if she did, she must have some wonderful stories to share.
I heard Miss Amelia say that they lived in India. I wonder what people from India wear. She is going to be the most interesting student here. Do you think she'll tell us the great Indian sea voyages?
Wait, there's more, Helen. I heard Miss Minchin say that she used to have her very own maid and a pony.
I've never ridden a pony before. It must be nice to be so rich. Do you think she'll be kind? I hope so. Even though she has been across the world and is very rich, she is still a little girl like us. Recess is over, girls. Please come inside. Yes, Miss Amelia.
Yes, darling.
Is that the place? Is it, Papa?
Yes, we have reached it at last.
I don't like it. Then I suppose soldiers, even brave ones, don't really like going into battle.
Sarah, what am I going to do when I don't have anyone to say such serious things to me?
Oh, you must be Captain Crewe.
Exactly right,
And
ma'am.
is this little Sarah?
You are.
Oh, I'm so sorry. My apologies.
This is Miss Amelia, and I am Miss Mariah Minchin, the head mistress of the Select Seminary for Young Ladies.
This is my daughter and your new pupil, Sarah.
Such lovely manners. It is a pleasure to welcome you both. That will be all, Amelia. If you will follow me, we'll begin our tour of the school. It will be a great pleasure to have charge of such a promising and beautiful child, Captain Crewe. I'm sure there is much we can teach her. All of our young ladies learn various subjects from many experienced teachers. And absolutely, I know she will be very happy with us.
I am not the least bit concerned with Sarah's education. The difficulty will be in having her learn too much too quickly. She always has her nose buried in something. She doesn't read them, Miss Minchin. She devours them like a wolf rather than a little girl. She reads French, German, as well as English, history, biographies, poetry, all sorts of things. Drag her away from her books if she reads too much. Have her ride her pony in the park, or maybe go out and buy a new doll.
Of course, a clever child will be a great treasure in an establishment such as this.
Now, my solicitors, Barrow and Skipworth, have charge of my affairs in New York, and they will offer any advice needed. They will pay the bills you submit for Sarah's expenses, and she is to be given every pleasure for which she asks. She is a bright young thing and will never ask for anything that isn't safe to give her.
Well, I am certain Sarah will be very happy here, of course, with so much generosity shown towards her. I can't imagine how it could be otherwise. Do follow me. I'll show you to her rooms and leave you to your goodbyes.
That must have been her. She was much smaller than I expected.
She doesn't look like someone from India.
Did you see her doll? I wonder why she is so sad.
This is Sarah's parlor, and her bedroom is through there. As you can see, no expense has been spared for Sarah's pleasure and comfort. Now, do let me know if there's anything more I can assist you with.
Thank you, Miss Mitchell. I think you'll be very happy here. There's much to do and learn. I saw some pretty girls who have become good friends for you. And Miss Minchin seems very efficient. I'm sure she'll take excellent care of you. And I will write to you as often as I can.
I wish we could stay together.
Oh, so do I. But you understand, India isn't a safe place for you. All the other children you know are going to live in boarding schools much like this one. I hate to leave, but I have to return to my ship.
I understand, Papa, but it doesn't make the doing of it any easier.
No, it certainly does not. Are you learning me by heart, little Sarah?
No, Papa. I already know you by heart. You're inside my heart.
You are in mine. The nights may be dark, the days may be cold, still the stars above will shine. Life may get hard, but you'll be alright, for I hold your heart in mine.
It's all right, girls. She's gone. Come here. Ernie! Come on, Lonnie. You can help finish decorating for Sarah's birthday party.
Are you ready to play again?
Oh, yes.
Ring around the
I wish
road.
the children wouldn't make so
Get
much
noise.
Samantha!
Stop encouraging them with those silly games.
No, go on.
You're all right, Lottie. Come join the game with us. I never saw such rough things. I wish Miss Mitchell would come in and catch you.
You girls think you're so big. You're always trying to stop the fun. Samantha, go on. Don't stop just because Lavinia wants to talk.
You'd stop fast enough if it was Princess Sarah talking.
Oh, we all like Sarah. We're not jealous of her like some people are. Sarah's wonderful. We all adore her.
Of course you love Sarah, just because she's the show pupil and the rich girl at school.
There really is something so very grand about having a father who lives in India.
There certainly is. He's killed tigers and has his own ship. And he sends in this beautiful present.
And he told Miss Minchin that she can have anything she wants.
And Sarah is more clever than any of us. My father said he'd give $1,000 if I was as clever as she is. She actually likes to read books. I can't bear that.
We all know that's true.
I'm not sure you would know what to do with the book if you ever managed to open one.
Well, if I'm the stupidest girl at school, Sarah isn't nicest. You don't see her whispering with her friends instead of spite.
Miss Minchin is coming! And leading Sarah by the hand as if she were a little princess.
Our silence, young ladies. Emma, place the table there, down in front. And Bella, Polly, put yours on top of the table. Becky, put your box on the floor. Very good, thank you, thank you. Becky, it is not your place to look upon the young ladies. You forget yourself. You may leave also.
Please, Miss Minchin, may Becky stay?
My dear Sarah, Becky is a scullery maid, and scullery maids are not little girls. At least they ought not to be.
But I don't believe she can help it, and I know she will enjoy herself. Please let her stay because it's my birthday.
Since you ask it as a birthday favor, she may stay.
Thank you. Oh, if you please, miss. Thank you, miss. And thank you, ma'am, for letting me take the liberty.
Very well. Just stand over there, not too near the young ladies. Now, young ladies, I have a few things to say to you. As you know, today is our dear Sarah's 13th birthday.
Yes, Miss Minchin.
A few of you here have also had 13th birthdays, but Sarah's birthdays are different than other little girls' birthdays.
Yes, Miss Minchin.
When she is older, she will be the heiress to a large fortune where it will be her duty to spend in a responsible manner. When her father, Captain Crewe, brought her from India and put her into my care, he said to me in a jesting manner, "I'm afraid she will be very rich, Miss Minchin."
Oh my.
To which my reply was, "Her education at my seminary, Captain Crewe, shall augment her to the largest of fortunes." She's already become my most accomplished pupil. Her French and dancing are a credit to the seminary. Her manners, which have caused all of you to call her Princess Sarah, are perfect. She exhibits her amiability by throwing you this party. I hope you express your appreciation to her by saying aloud all together, "Thank you, Sarah."
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, Miss.
I thank you for coming to my party.
Very pretty indeed, Sarah. That is what a true princess does when the populace applauds. Now, I have one more thing to say. The visitors coming this afternoon are the mother and father here in New York. I wish you to behave yourselves so that they may observe an elegance of conduct may be acquired here at Miss Minchin's seminary. I'll be in my drawing room until they arrive. But Sarah, dear, you may show your presence.
Sarah, dear, you may show your presence. Ermengarde, isn't there a better example to set for the little girl? Yes, Miss Amelia.
Should have caught you that time.
Oh, Ernie, I do wish you could have seen your face.
Which shall we look at first?
These are books, I know.
Oh no, you shouldn't count as presents.
Is your Bobby City Books' birthday present, Sarah? He's as bad as mine. Don't know, but I like them the best. And never mind, though. This is the doll. I'll open her first. Oh, Sarah, she's beautiful. I've never seen such a pretty doll.
I think she's wonderful. I think she's the most impractical thing I've ever seen. She's almost as big as Lottie. You're both just jealous.
It looks like she used to be dressed for the theater. What a magnificent dress. Look, she even has a program in her hand. So she has. Here's her trunk. Let's open it and look at her things.
Here's the key. Oh, Sarah, it is all so beautiful.
This is full of lace collars, silk stockings, and handkerchiefs. Here's a silver case and this silver necklace with a tiara of diamonds. Want to put them on her, Mary? Oh, may I?
What a darling wardrobe. Look, here's a velvet coat with trim mugs.
And a white one with pink little buttons. And a tall dress. And dresses, dresses, dresses. And here are her hats, handbags, and shoes. Becky, can you see? Oh, yes, miss. It's like heaven. She's a lovely doll, miss. Suppose she understands human talk and feels proud of being admired.
Sarah, you are always making up stories about things.
I know I am. I like it. There's nothing so nice as pretending. If you imagine anything hard enough, it almost seems as if it were real. Have you ever done it?
No, of course not. It's ridiculous.
Is it? Well, it makes me happy at any rate. We can finish looking at the doll's things when we have more time. Becky will put them back in the trunk. Hey, miss. Oh, thank you, miss, for letting me touch them. Oh my, they're all so beautiful.
Don't touch that. That's not for babies.
I'm not a baby. I'm not. Sarah!
There now, you make her cry, the spoiled thing.
Now, Lottie, dear, you mustn't cry.
I don't want to stay in the nasty school with nasty girl.
You should not have scolded her. She's such a little thing, and you know she's only a boarding school because she hasn't any mother.
She's a spoiled brat. I don't care how many parents she has. She needs to learn to be quiet and stay out of things that don't belong to her.
What right have you to decide what she can or cannot do? You're so hard that I can barely stand to look at you.
Oh no, to be shunned by the Princess Sarah. However will I show my face here again?
I don't see how you can stand to listen to her teasing and not want to slap her.
Oh, I do very much want to slap her, but I'm stronger than her, and she knows it.
That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
People know you are stronger than they are. When you don't blind your passion, and you are strong enough to hold in your rage. They are not and will regret the things they say in anger. There's nothing as strong as rage except what makes you hold it in. That's what's stronger. It's good not to answer to her enemies.
Words of wisdom once again from our darling princess.
Well, I'm glad to be the one behaving like a princess if your manners are the other option.
Do stop, Lottie, darling. I'll give you my penny. I don't want your old penny.
Yes, do stop. I'll give you anything.
She called me a baby.
But you will be a baby if you keep crying, Lottie. There.
I haven't any mama.
Neither have I.
Where is she?
She went to heaven, but I know she comes out to see me sometimes, though I don't see her. So does yours. Perhaps they can both see us now. Perhaps they are both in this room. There are fields and fields of flowers, and fields of lilies. And when the soft wind blows over them, it wastes the scent of them into the air. And everyone always breathes it because the soft wind is always blowing. And little children run about in the lily fields and gather armfuls of them and laugh and make little wreaths. And the streets are always shining, and people are never tired however far they walk. They can float around any way they like. And there are walls made of pearl and gold all around the city. But they were low enough for people to go and lean on them and look down onto the earth and smile and send beautiful messages.
I want to go there. I haven't any mama in this school.
I will be your mama, representing that you are my little girl, and New Doll shall be your sister.
Shall she?
Of course, and you go to her while I tell you that story I promised you.
Oh, Sarah, do tell us a story.
Cynthia, will you turn on the lights? It's so much nicer to tell a story by firelight. It's such fun to sit in the dark.
Once upon a time.
Once upon a time, long ago, we lived on the edge of a deep, deep forest with a little girl and her grandmother.
Was she pretty?
She was so fair and so sweet that people called her Snowflower, but she had no other relations in the world except for her old grandmother, Madame Frostyface.
Was she a nice old woman?
She was always nice to Snowflower. They lived in a little cottage thatched with reeds. Tall trees sheltered it, daisies grew thick about the door, and swallows filled the eaves.
Oh my!
One sunny morning, Madame Frostyface said, "My child, I'm going on a long journey, and I cannot take you with me. But when you feel lonely, lay your head on the velvet cushions of the carved oak chair and say, 'Chair, my grandmother, tell me a story,' and it'll tell you one. And if you want to travel anywhere, just seat yourself in it and say, 'Chair, my grandmother, take me the way I want to go.'"
How wonderful! I wish I had a chair like that.
Oh, come on, Sarah. And so Madame Frostyface went away, and every night the chair told her a beautiful new story.
If it had been my chair, I would have told it to take me to the king's palace.
That is what happened, but listen. The time passed on, and Madame Frostyface did not come back for such a long time that Snowflower thought she would go and find her.
Did she find her?
Wait and listen. One day she jumped into the chair and said, "Chair, my grandmother, take me the way she went." And the chair gave a creak and began to move out of the cottage and into the forest where all the birds were singing. The chair traveled on and on and on and on, like a coach in six.
How far did it go?
It traveled through the forest and over the velvet moss for 4 days.
Where'd it go?
It came to an open place in the forest where 100 workmen were carrying trees away to the king's palace.
Was the king giving a ball?
He was giving 7 of them to celebrate the birthday of his daughter, the Princess Greedolin.
Did he invite Snowflower?
Shh! The chair marched up to the palace, and when the princess heard that there was a chair that could tell stories, she cried until the king sent an order to the little girl to come and make it tell her one.
Did she go in?
The chair marched in a courtly manner up the grand staircase and into the palace hall when...
Procession's coming! Hurry, everyone!
What are you naughty children doing in the dark? Amelia, turn up the lights immediately. How dare all of you?
I beg your pardon, Miss Minchin. It was my fault entirely. I was telling them a story and I liked to tell her by firelight.
Oh, it was you, Sarah. That is a different matter. I can always trust you.
Of course it's a different matter. It's Princess Sarah.
Emma, bring in Mrs. Michaels, please. So lovely to see you, Mrs. Michaels. And please, have a seat here.
Terribly sorry that Mr. Marcus will not be joining us. Oh, he is traveling to meet a client who's traveling to New York from India. The client has contracted a dangerous illness and he's very poor health.
How
So
distressing.
Mr. Michaels may call for me and I should be obliged to leave at once. However, the children were so excited to see the school and I could not bear to disappoint them.
Well, we are certainly happy to have you for as long as you may stay with us. Cynthia, will you take the children into the other room and keep them entertained while I speak with Mrs. Michaels out here, please? Sarah, dear, you remain. Sarah's mother died when she was born, and her father is a very wealthy businessman, fortunately. Extremely wealthy. Sarah, dear, say hello to Mrs. Michaels.
It is a pleasure to meet you.
Sarah's 13th birthday is today, and she's throwing a party for her schoolfellows.
Well, she seems like such a nice little girl. What a splendid doll. Is she yours?
Her father ordered it in Paris. Its dressmaker was a very fashionable one. Nothing is too superb for a child.
Sarah, is that a boy from across the street? The one that you make up stories about?
Do you make up stories about us?
Oh, I hope you won't mind. I can see your house out my window, and you all look so happy together. I like to pretend I know you all and imagine things about you.
She has made up names for all of you.
Have you? What are they?
They're only pretend names. Perhaps you would think they're silly.
No, I shall not. What do you call them?
You're Miss and Mr. Montmorency.
What a grand name. What do you call the children?
Well, the little boy is Guy Clarence.
Then there's Lillian Evangeline, Maud Marian, and Veronica Eustacia.
You romantic little thing.
I should not have imagined so much about you if you hadn't all looked so happy together. My papa's in India, you know, and my mama died when I was a baby. So I like to look at the children who have mamas and papas.
Oh, you poor little dear. Miss Minchin, you must let her come and have tea with us.
Certainly, certainly. Sarah would be delighted.
A gentleman would like to see you, ma'am. He says he comes from the firm of Barrow and Skipper.
The lawyers? What could he want? Tell him I'm not to be disturbed at present. Ask him to wait.
And if you please, a note from Mrs. McDow.
Oh, for me? Not bad news, I hope.
It's just as I feared. My husband's client, poor Mr. Carrisford, has just arrived. He's dangerously ill, and Mr. Michaels wants me to go see him at once. I'm sorry to rush off like this, but thank you for inviting us. Children, say your goodbyes and come along. Papa needs us.
What a pity she's obliged to leave so soon.
She was evidently very much pleased, though. I wonder if I could see the lawyer here. Young ladies, it's time for you to enjoy the nice things Sarah's provided for you in my parlor.
Cake and punch!
Thank you.
Mr. Barrow.
The legal firm Barrow and Skipworth, I believe.
Yes, Barrow, representing the late Captain Crewe.
The late Captain Crewe? You don't mean to say that Captain Crewe is...
Dead, madam. Lost at sea.
Shocking. It seems impossible. It's so sudden.
It was very sudden. The firm thought that you should be told at once as the child is in your care.
Oh, quite right, and very proper indeed. Poor Captain Crewe, poor little orphan Sarah. She'll need my help now more than ever.
She will indeed, ma'am.
What do you mean?
Oh, I mean that, as she has no apparent relations to take charge of her. She's fortunate in having a friend just such as yourself.
Well, quite right. A young girl with such a large fortune, for I believe it's a very large fortune. What do you mean by that? Certainly you must mean something. What is it?
I mean, she has no fortune, ma'am. Large or small, she's left without a penny.
Without a penny, that's impossible. Captain Crewe was a rich man.
Ah, that's it. He was.
Do you mean to say that he's lost his money? That he's lost it?
Every bit of it. That young man had too much money. He didn't know what to do with it all, so he let a speculating friend, a very dear friend, gamble. See, the friend was mad on the subject of a diamond mine, put all of his own money into it, all of Captain Crewe's as well. The mine proved a failure, and the friend, the very dear friend, ran away. Captain Crewe was already stricken with the jungle fever when the news came, and in the confusion, he set sail to the mines, but he never made it there. He died a ruined man.
Are you meaning to tell me that Captain Crewe has left Sarah nothing? That the child is a beggar? That she's left on my hands a pauper instead of an heiress?
Well, she certainly left a beggar, ma'am, but she certainly left on your hands.
It's monstrous. She's in my parlor right now in a pink gown and lace petticoats throwing a party at my expense.
And she's giving it at your expense if she's giving it, ma'am. Barrow and Skipper, they're not responsible for anything. Captain Crewe died without paying our last bill, and it was a considerable one.
Well, that is what happened to me. I've been through all sorts of expenses since his last check came. I even paid the bill for that ridiculous doll and its ridiculously fantastic wardrobe. The child was to have anything she wanted. She has a pony and a carriage and a maid, and all of which I paid for.
You had better pay for anything else unless you want to make presents to the young lady.
What am I to do?
There's nothing to do. Captain Crewe is dead. The child is left a pauper, and nobody's responsible for her but you.
I'm not responsible for her. I'll not be made responsible for her.
I have nothing to do with that, ma'am. I only know that Barrow and Skipper are not responsible.
Well, you cannot go and leave me this way. I won't have it. I've been cheated. I've been swindled. I'll throw that girl out on the street this minute.
Well, I wouldn't, ma'am. If I were you. I mean, you could, but I wouldn't. Bad story to get out. I'd go to the school. Better pay you to keep it as a sort of charity group.
This is unbelievable. I'll do nothing of the sort.
Just as you please, ma'am. The matter is entirely in your hands. Good evening. Oh, and very sorry that this all happened, of course. Bad for both parties. Good evening.
What's the matter, sister?
Where is Sara Crewe?
Why, she's with the children in your parlor.
Has she a black frock in that sumptuous wardrobe of hers?
Well, yes, but it's an old black velvet one. It is much too small for her to wear.
Go tell her to take off that preposterous pink gown and put the black one on. Whether it is too short or no, she's done with finery.
Well, sister, what kind of happened?
Captain Crewe is dead.
Oh, poor Captain Sarah.
Poor Sara. That child had been pampered as if she'd been a queen. Hundreds of dollars. I spent hundreds of dollars. Now I shall never see a penny of it. Go put a stop to that ridiculous party of hers and make her change her frock.
Oh, must I go at once?
This moment. Don't sit there staring like a goose at me. Go! Hundreds of dollars. Princess Sara. Queen Sara. What? Becky! Get out there!
Oh, I had knocked you the head of the table when you came in and I heard.
You impudent child!
Oh, please, I know you scold me. I'm so sorry for poor Miss Sarah. She's just a kind young lady, ma'am.
Leave the room.
Yes, ma'am, I will. But I wanted to ask you, Miss Sarah's been such a great job like you, ma'am. She's been waiting on it. And what must she do until May? Please, ma'am, waiting for her back down my pots and kettles. I did them so quick. If you let me wait on her now, it's so poor. Poor little Miss Sarah that's caught a princess.
No! She'll wait on herself and on others too. If you don't leave this room this minute, you leave this place.
Wouldn't you please, ma'am?
Wait on her! No! Get out!
I have done as you asked.
Very well. Tell her to come in and make it clear to her that there will be no crying or unpleasant scenes.
Oh, she's coming to see you now, but sister, she is the strangest child I ever saw. She has actually made no fuss at all. You remember she made that when Captain Crewe went back to India? Well, when I told her what had happened, she just looked at me without making a sound. Her eyes seemed to get bigger and bigger, and her face went quite pale, and her little chin began to quiver. She didn't say a word. Several of the other children began to cry. But it did not seem as if she had heard me or if she was alive or anything. It just made me feel quite odd not to be answered whenever you say anything that's so strange or sudden. You expect people will say something, whatever it is.
Very well. Tell her to come in. Come here. Put that doll down. You'll have no time for dolls in the future.
It was the last thing my papa gave me. So what?
Well, she's my doll now. Everything you own is mine. For a whole year, I've gone through all sorts of expenses for you, and I shall never be paid for one of them. I've been robbed. My
papa did not mean to rob you.
Well, whether he meant to do it or not, he did it. And now I'm left in my hands. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand. Miss Amelia told me. My papa's dead and he left me no money.
You are a beggar. You are not a princess any longer. Remember that. You have no friends. You have no money. You have no one to take care of you. What are you staring at? Are you so stupid you cannot understand? I tell you, you are quite alone in this world and have no one to do anything for you unless I choose to keep you here out of charity.
I understand, Miss Minchin.
Your pony and carriage will be sold at once. Your maid will be sent away. You'll wear your plainest and oldest frocks, as your elegant ones are no longer suited for your station. You'll be like Becky. You'll have to work to earn your living.
Can I work? If you tell me what to do, I'll do it.
You'll do what you're told, whether you like it or not. And if you don't, you will be sent away.
I understand.
Then listen to what I say. You are a smart girl and pick up things readily. You can help with the younger children.
Yes, I can help with the little ones. I like them and they like me.
Don't talk nonsense about people liking you anymore. You are not a parlor boarder now. You have to work to earn your bread, and you'll do more than help with the little ones. You'll run errands for the kitchen, and as well as help in the schoolroom, and if you don't please me, you will be sent away. Now go. Stop. Don't you intend to thank me?
What for?
for?
For my kindness. For my kindness in showing you a home.
You were not kind. You were not kind, and this is not a home.
And where are you going now? You're no longer to sleep in the bedroom you used to sleep in.
Where must I go?
In the future, you'll occupy the garret next to Becky's, under the roof.
The garret next to Becky's. The rats are.
Rubbish, there are no rats there.
Sometimes Becky can hardly sleep at all. She says in the garret next to her, the rats run about all night.
Well, whether there are rats or no, you will sleep there. And take this old doll with you. It has no further value to me, and neither do you.
I must admit, I feel like a thief sneaking up the garret. How did you ever discover the girl lives there?
She can be seen looking from its window. Her errands often bring her past the mother's. He asked me to follow and learn more.
Well, what a dreadful place to keep a child in. Not a fire, not a sign of one. Her blankets were so thin you could see through them. How long has this been going on?
There is no way to know. She was here when he first arrived from India. He watches from his parlor window. The child grows weaker over the months. Her suffering is etched into her face.
Wow. How does Mr. Carrotford plan to help the child?
I am to sneak into the garret and bring the child all the comforts and necessities she has been denied. When first he thought of this plan, it made him smile. And he has not smiled for many days. He said the poor child will think a magician's work the spell.
Yes, she will indeed. It's a curious plan. Mr. Carrotford, the sick man, and quite lonely. But perhaps this may be just what he needs to get his mind off searching for his friend again. And then maybe then he can focus his mind on healing once again.
Indeed, many wishes you are correct.
Now, Rondas, I know your scars are silent as ghosts. Can you steal through that garret window and do what Mr. Carrotford wishes and make no sound?
Can be done. A Lascar knows well how to make no sound at all.
Well, it will be safer to do it when she's out on some errand, or at night when she sleeps.
At night when she sleeps. Children sleep soundly, even the unhappy ones.
When will it be done?
Soon. Everything is almost ready.
Good.
It is the child herself been sent on another errand.
Nowhere. I've asked Nat.
Wait a moment. Excuse me. Have you lost a coin, a nickel?
Bless me, no. Did you find one?
Yes, in the gutter.
Just keep it. Goodness knows how long it's been there, and you might not ever find out who lost it.
I know that, but I thought I would ask you.
Not many would. Would you like to buy something?
5 bread rolls, please.
Those at a penny each.
I said 5 if you please. I have only a nickel.
I dare say you could eat it sometimes. I'll throw in extra for make weight.
Do you have any croissants? For a penny? Just see, this is nice and hot. Eat it, and you won't feel so hungry.
Oh my.
Well, if that girl hasn't given her bread to a beggar child, I'd give something to know what she did it for. Excuse me. Little girl, who gave you that bread? And what did she say?
Asked me if I was hungry.
What did you say?
Said I was.
She came into the store and got the bread and brought it to you, did she? How many?
5.
She could have eaten all 6. I could see it in her eyes. If she hadn't gone so quick, I'm blessed if she shouldn't have had a dozen. Are you hungry yet?
I'm always hungry, but it ain't as bad as it was.
Will you come in here and get yourself one?
How long would you be gone?
Do you think you can bring back some flowers for me?
We sent some to the Arabian Sea. Stop pestering Father. And we all hope you have a very safe journey and are able to find your Mr. Carrisford's friend.
Yes. Do be safe and try to remember to write.
I'll be back before you know it, and I'll tell you all about it when I return. Now, let's go inside. It is a dreadfully damp night. Good night.
Did you see the little girl's not a beggar? She looked all cold and wet, and I saw her turn her head over her shoulder and look at us.
Mama said her clothes always looked as if they were given to her by someone who was quite rich. Someone who only let her have them because they were too shabby to wear.
And the people at the school are always sitting around on errands, and most horrid days and nights they're on.
Come along, girls. It's too cold to be standing about.
And where have you wasted your time today? You've been out for hours.
It was so wet and muddy that it was hard to walk because my shoes were so bad and slipped about.
I'll hear none of your excuses. You're more trouble than you're worth.
Why didn't you just stay out all night?
Sorry, ma'am.
This is not everything I asked for. Where's me rosemary? And me parsnips? Ugh, what kind of vegetables are these? Did you ask for the ones from the bottom of the basket? These all look nearly rotten.
Most of the sellers closed with me because of the storm came down. I asked for the parsnips and rosemary everywhere I could. And I got the best of everything that we had.
You miserable little rat. How am I supposed to make rosemary jelly to go with a Mrs. Turkey without any bloody rosemary? Your best is hardly good enough to make a proper supper for this place. Since you're the reason supper will be poor, you can go without.
I had no dinner.
Well, good. Maybe that will teach you to do as you're told. Work harder. And get out of here so I can try to fix this mess you've caused.
Look at Princess Sarah now. She's so happy she's eating. She had a good breakfast. Since you won't have anything else to eat tonight.
Ridiculous thing. At least now I don't expect her to be part of her royal court. She's so odd. Sometimes I'm a bit frightened by her. Frightened of her filth, you mean?
Lavinia, you're absolutely horrid. Really? How can you all be so cruel?
Look. Ah.
I shall die. I'm cold, I'm wet, and I'm starving to death. I walked 1,000 miles today. They've done nothing but scold me from morning until night. And because I could not find everything the cook sent me for, they would not give me any supper. Some men laughed at me because my old shoes made me slip down in the mud. I'm covered with mud now. They laugh. Do you hear? You're a doll. You're nothing but a doll. You care for nothing. Nothing can ever make you feel. You're a doll. Can't help being a doll any more than Lindy and Jessie can help not having any sense. We're not all made alike. Perhaps you yours taught us best. Well, hello, Emily. Where is Sara gone? I wonder if that nasty old professor out there was going to slide. No, here's her shawl. It's dripping wet. Hold on, little lad. She was really freeze out in these cold nights. Oh, it's a shame. She should have worse than poor little Becky, the scullery there. Ah! There the rats again. I wish she'd come. Sara, I didn't know you were coming here tonight, Ermengarde. I crept out of the room after the other girls went to sleep. Papa sent me another book, Sara. Here it is. Oh, has he? How beautiful, Carlyle's French Revolution. I so wanted to read that. I have it. And Papa will be so cross if I don't. I want to know all about it over the holidays. What shall I read? Look here, Ermengarde. If you'll lend me this book, I'll read it and tell you everything that's in it. And I'll tell it so that you'll remember it too. Sara, do you think you could? I know I can. The little ABC children always remember what I tell them. Sara, if you do that, and you make me remember, I'll give you some of my pocket money. Oh, I don't want your money, Ernie. I want your book. I want it. Take it then. You're more than welcome. I wish I wanted it. Well, that's okay. I'm glad. Now let's tell each other things. How are you getting on with your French lessons? Ever so much better since I started to come up with your beard and you did the beach food. I'm glad. The Garrett group probably nice, so it wasn't so very dreadful. But it's a good place to pretend in. What do you pretend, Sara? Well, I generally pretend this is the Bastille. And I'm kept a prisoner here like Dr. Burnett in Tale of Two Cities. And what else? I pretend I've been here for years and years and years and years. And everyone has forgotten all about me. And Miss Minchin is the jailer. And I pretend there's another prisoner in the next cell. That's Becky, you know. I've told her about it. And I knock on the wall to make her hear, and she knocks like this. She's not there. If she were, she'd knock back. Ah, she's like a story. It is a story. Everything's a story. Your story, I'm a story, Miss Minchin's a story. Ah! Here the rats again, Sara. Are you never afraid of rats? I was at first, but not now. They're part of the story. There were always rats in prisons, and prisoners tamed them with crumbs. Tell me more stories, Sara. They're so nice. Well, I also tell myself stories about the other people who live in a house in the square. The large family, you know. Did Miss Minchin ever let you go there to tea? No, she said my visits weren't suited to my station. That old cat. But I watch them out my garret window there. If I stretch, I can see all up and down the street. What's that? It's only Becky coming up to bed.
Rebecca! Rebecca!
She's scolding Becky and making the girl cry. Was she coming here? No, she'll think I'm in bed. Don't disturb her.
You impudent, dishonest child! Cook tells me she's missed things repeatedly.
It wasn't me, ma'am. I was hungry enough, but it wasn't me, never.
You deserve to be sent to prison, picking and stealing. Half a meat pie, indeed.
It wasn't me. I could have eaten the whole one and I never laid a finger on it.
Don't tell me any more of your lies. Go to your room this instant.
It's okay now, Ernie. The wicked, cruel thing is gone. The cook takes things herself, and it says Becky steals them. She doesn't. She doesn't. She's so hungry sometimes that she would eat crust out of the ash barrel, but she would never steal anything. Sara, you never told me. I don't want to be rude, but are you ever hungry? Yes. It's been so hungry now that I can almost eat you. It makes it worse to hear poor Becky. She's hungrier than I am. Sara, I never knew. I didn't want you to know. You make me feel like a street beggar. I know I look like a street beggar. No, you don't. You couldn't look like a street beggar. You have a street beggar face. A little boy once gave me a 56 piece for charity. Here it is. He would have given me his Christmas money, but had to look as if I needed it. He was a darling little thing going to a party. He was one of the large family. You know, the little one with brown legs, the one I call Guy Clarence? I suppose his nursery was crammed with Christmas presents and had hampers full of cakes and things. And he could see I had nothing. Sarah, I can't believe I didn't think of it before now. Think of what? Something splendid. It's very afternoon, but I say it's in a box full of good things. I never touched it. I too much put it for dinner. But it's got cake in it, and little meat pies, and jam tarts, and buns, and oranges, and figs, and chocolate. I'll come back to my room to get it this minute, and we can eat it now. Do you think you could? I know I can. The lights are out. Everybody's in bed. I creep and poop, and no one will hear. Oh, Army, let's pretend a party. Oh, and won't you invite the prisoner in the next cell? Yes. Let's knock on the wall. The jailer walking in. That means come to me under the secret passageway under the wall. I have something to communicate. She's coming. Oh, Miss Ermengarde. Oh, Becky, don't be frightened. Miss Ermengarde is our friend. She asked you to come in here because she's going to bring a box of good things up here. To eat, Miss? Things that are good to eat? Yes, and we are going to pretend a party. And there's sausages and Brazilians and lots of good things. How heavenly. Ernie, you go for the box and we'll set the table. Oh, Miss, I knew it was you who asked to let me come. It makes me cry to think of it. No, you mustn't cry. We must hurry and set the table. Now, what can we put on it? Oh, here's Ernie's shawl. I know she won't mind. It'll make such a nicer tablecloth. What next? Oh, let's look for something in my old trunk. Becky, do you know what a banquet is? No, Miss. This is something to eat or something to wear. It's a magnificent feast. Kings have them, queens and lord mayors. We are going to have them. Now begin to pretend as hard as you ever can and straighten the richly embroidered tablecloth. What are you doing, Becky? I was pretending, Miss. It takes a good bit of strength. Yes, it does, but just at first. But not when you get used to it. I'm used to it. Now, what do you suppose these are? They look like handkerchiefs, Miss, but I know they ain't. No, they're plates and napkins. Gold and silver plates and richly embroidered napkins to match the tablecloth. These are the plates and these are the napkins. You must not mistake the napkins for the plates, or the plates for the napkins, Becky. Lord, no, Miss. They ain't nothing like each other. No, they're not. But if you pretend hard enough, don't they look nice? Just lovely, Miss, especially the gold and silver plates. Yes, but the embroidery on the napkins is beautiful. Nuns in it that come in Spain. Oh, Becky, I forgot to tell you, this isn't the Bastille anymore. Ain't it, Miss? My goodness, now what's it turn into? It's a marble hall. A marble hall? Yes, a marble hall in a palace. It's a banquet hall. A banquet hall? No, a banquet hall. That window opens into the vast conservatory where all the tropical plants grow. Oh, that reminds me of flowers. We ought to have some flowers. Yes, Miss, we ought to have some flowers. Now, where can we get them from? Oh, the trunk again. Here they are. Now, what can we put them in? This looks like a toothbrush bug, but it ain't. It's a crystal vase. Oh, and Becky, there's something that looks like a soap dish, but it isn't. It's a gold dish for bonbons encrusted with gems. Here you go. Oh, Sarah, there's your banquet hall and all them golden gems. Ain't they beautiful? Oh, Sarah, you're the most cleverest girl I ever saw. Isn't it nice? I found all these lovely things hiding right here in the attic. Here's the box. You take the things out, Sarah. You make the book nice. Yes, Miss, you take them out. I don't trust myself. Thank you. What a lovely cake. And mince pie, and grapes, and oranges, and pom-poms with sugar, and crystallized fruit, and an angel nuts, and chocolate caramels. Sarah, do you ever pretend you are a princess now? Yes, I have to pretend it all the time. It helps me to be polite to people when they are rude to me. It would be easy to be a princess if we were all dressed in a cloth of gold. But it is a great deal more of triumph to be one all the time when no one knows me. Sarah, pretend you are a princess now, and you are giving a banquet. But it is your banquet, Ermi. You must be the princess. We'll be your maids of honor. Oh, I can't. I'm too stupid, and I don't know how. You be her. But you are a princess, Ermi. All girls are. Even if they aren't pretty or smart or young, they're still princesses. But you're so good at pretending, Miss. You be her. Well, if you want me to. But I've thought of something else. Yes, there's some paper and rubbish left up here. If we light it, it'll blaze up for a few minutes and we can pretend to roll fire. If only we had more paper. I wrote the book. No, don't tear the book, Ermi. The tissue paper, then. By the time it's out blazing, we shall forget it's not real. Doesn't it look real? Now we will begin the party. seated at the banquet table. My noble father the king, who is absent on a long journey, has commanded me to feast with you. Minstrels, strike up your violins and your bassoons. There's always some minstrels at the feast. Pretend there's a minstrel gallery way up there. Now we'll begin. Suppose you were there in the various country, where a moss makes the carpet green, out from under the tree where they're rustling leaves at the court of the elfin queen. You could hide yourself on the top of the tree and peep in the hazelbrush hall. See the dance area, 'tis about to begin. See the brownies, the movings, and all. Suppose you were there, unseen to all stares. Suppose. Here's what you could see.
What is the meaning of this?
It's a party!
Oh, Becky, you audacious creature, you leave this house in the morning.
Yes, ma'am. No, miss, please don't send her away. May it's in box full of good things. Yes, ma'am. We'll leave us having a party.
Oh, a party with the Princess Sarah at the head of the table? This is all you're doing. I know Ermengarde would never have thought of something like this, decorating the table with such rubbish. Becky, you go back to your garret this instant. Ermengarde, gather your things up. I'll attend to you tomorrow, Princess Sarah. You'll have no supper, nor dinner, nor breakfast.
But I've had neither dinner nor supper today, Miss.
Well, all the better, something to remember. Ermengarde, you're to spend all of tomorrow in your room, and I'm to write to your father. What will he say when he learns where you've been tonight?
I don't know, Miss.
I don't want to hear from you for the rest of the evening. Back to your room. How dare you influence my students in such a manner, ungrateful rat! What are you staring at now?
I was wondering.
Pray tell, Princess Sarah, what were you wondering?
I was wondering what my papa would say if he knew where I am tonight.
Well, I shall leave you to wonder then, since there is no one left to care where you are tonight.
There isn't any party left, Emily. There's nothing left but a prison in the Bastille, all alone. I won't cry. I'll go to sleep. I just can't pretend anymore tonight. I wish I could. I'll go to sleep and perhaps a dream will come and pretend for me. nice dream. I feel quite warm. I don't want to wake up. The dream is now melting away. I've never had such a dream before. I simply must be dreaming, but it stays dreaming. It fills me. Oh my, Sarah, how hard have you been pretending? Becky, you see it too? Could it be real? I don't know, miss. But look, a pretend fire wouldn't be hot. You're right, Becky. Oh, and look at these gowns. There's even one for each of us. They're so warm and soft, they must be real. Oh, Becky, look, there's even slippers. Becky, it's all real. I'm not dreaming. Oh, Becky, and look, there's even real food. And look, what does it say? Little girl in the garret. From a friend. Oh, Becky, I'm not alone. There's someone who cares right now. I have a friend. I have a friend.
Thank you, Rhonda. Please tell Mr. Carrisford that we'll wait as long as he likes. We'll go away if he doesn't want us. You know, you've only come to cheer him up a little.
Saheed will be most glad. You may wait here.
Look, Janet, I found a horse! Now, Donald, you must remember that Mr. Carrisford is very ill today, and when you come to cheer up a person who is ill, you don't cheer him up at the top of your voice.
Well, I'm cheering up better on the horse than I can and cheer. Yeah!
You can sit there if you'll be quiet. Mr. Carrisford is very anxious today. You know, he's waiting on Papa to return home from Bombay. And Mama said we might come help pass the time for him because he likes us when we're quiet. I know I'm certainly going to be quiet.
So am I.
Well, this quiet is nice.
Mice don't make noise like that.
A whole lot of mice, right?
Well, I don't believe 10,000 mice would make a noise such as that. Oh, Mr. Carrisford, there you are. It's so good to see you today, Mr. Carrisford.
Oh, how do you do, my dears? It's so very good of you to come and see me.
We'd like to come. Well, Mama said we might come and see you on our way from the party.
We wanted to show you our party frocks.
We're not going to make any noise.
Oh, dear me. Let me see how fine you all look.
Would you like to see the back?
Mama braided my hair. Mine is a new dress and twirls.
Oh,
I have 4 pockets. 1, 2, 3. 4.
oh. I only have 2.
Well, are you feeling any better, Mr. Carrisford?
Oh, I'm afraid not, Janet. I'm anxious, and it isn't good for me. I shall be much better if your papa brings me good news. Rhonda, please watch for Mr. Michael's arrival. The children will keep me company.
I say, I'll go watch at the window for the cat. Maisie, you come too.
Mr. Carrisford, do you think that Papa will come back and say he's found Captain Crewe?
I hope so, Janet. I hope so. I shall be very unhappy if he does not.
Well, I wish I could cheer you up until Papa does come, but when you feel ill, perhaps cheering up is just too much effort.
Oh, no.
Well, would you tell us about the man? About Captain Crewe?
Why must you search for him?
Let's see. Where to begin? Captain Crewe and I were friends and business partners. We put our money together and invested in a diamond mine. It was a very promising venture, and one that was to bring us great fortune.
I love adventures.
Oh, a venture in this case is very much like an adventure. But after a while, things started to look very bad, and I thought we lost everything.
Oh no, what did you do?
Well, about that time, I got very sick. I'm still not better, you know.
We are so sorry.
Oh, thank you, dear. Though at the time I was much more sick than this, and I rarely woke up.
Was Captain Crewe with you?
No. He heard of our failure in the mines and must have thought I abandoned him. But he took his ship to sea and planned to discover the truth for himself. But the ship was lost, and he hasn't been heard from again.
Oh, but you haven't given up hope,
No.
have you, Mr. Carrisford?
No, I haven't. Your wonderful father has helped me search where I cannot, and I do hope we discover what became of him.
People think he died?
Yes, the government does, but I still hope.
As do we.
What happened to mine?
Well, they eventually made us quite wealthy men after all.
Oh really? Papa must find him.
Yes, he must.
Serious!
Oh my God. I wish I could get up, but it's no use. I cannot.
Zahid, Mr. Michaels is at the door.
Here we go.
Oh, yes, yes, of course. Go.
Now, y'all must go play in the library. I need to speak to Mr. Carriage first, and y'all can come back in a moment.
All right, Waffles. Good to see you home safely.
Oh, I am glad to see you. Very glad. Pray, sit down. What news do you bring?
I will wait to sit, for I bring very good news. I found Captain Crewe, and I brought him to your home with me.
Oh, bless you. Where is he? Did you explain? Does he still think I betrayed him?
No, he understands. He's very grateful for your help. And, Ron Doss, would you be kind enough to assist him? And he will join us shortly. But I needed a moment to talk to you about another matter that needs your attention.
What could be more important than this?
Well, Captain Crewe was struck with brain fever after his ship had set sail, and he still suffers the effects, and his memory is very poor.
What needs to be done to help him now?
Well, he needs time to heal, just as you do. But that's not the problem at hand. When he sleeps, he says the name Sara. Sara. I thought he had no family to notify.
His wife, Mary, died many years ago. Of that I'm sure. Oh, my. How could I have forgotten? She died in childbirth. How could I forget such a thing?
Don't blame yourself. Remember how sick you've been, and you're still healing.
Yes, but that poor child. Sarah, did you say? There's been no one to search for her. There's been no one to care for her.
Well, since Crewe had died, I presumed that the government would have reported him that way, and I guess she would have been thought to be an orphan.
Well, has Crewe said anything about her?
No. He talks more in his sleep than awake. And I haven't mentioned the name to him because he's in such a fragile state. But perhaps we could find her for him.
Oh, we will find her, even if we must search every city. Please help me find her, won't you, Michaels?
It will be done.
Oh, I already owe you a great deal of thanks.
Well, we'll start immediately. There's a school right next door. We cannot start any closer than that.
Yes, that school is already of interest to me. Maybe we can do more there than simply inquire about Crewe's daughter.
What concerns you?
It's another girl. Though she is not a pupil there, she's a little forlorn creature, as unlike poor Crewe as any child could be.
Yeah, Ron Doss told me of your idea to help the servant child. Very kind of you indeed.
I hate to see any child treated so cruelly. I do hope that Crewe's daughter is being cared for well, and not left to the mercy of people such as those that run that institution. Well, for now, at least I can be grateful that we have Crewe to care for. Rhonda, tell me, how is our guest, Captain Crewe?
The gentleman is resting, and the cook is preparing his supper for him.
Thank you. Please make sure that he stays comfortable and has everything that he needs. Is there more?
There is. The child, she herself has come. The child he felt pity for, she brings back the monkey who, again, ran away to her garret. I have asked that she remain. It was my idea that it would please Sahid to see and speak with her.
She is the child of whom I spoke. Yes, I should very much like to see her. Thank you.
Mr. Carrisford, Papa! The little girl we saw at the window. She's the girl we saw at the school.
What?
At the school?
She was quite a rich little girl in a beautiful frock.
Now she's poor thing and ragged. Well, at least almost ragged.
Sure, Mrs. Michaels has arrived.
Do apologize for my delay. My dears, I can hear you outside. Whatever is the matter?
It's the little girl that made up names about us. Now she's quite poor and shabby.
Are you certain?
Oh, she won't come in! I want her to come in!
Sahid, she also spoke Hindustani.
She spoke Hindustani?
Yes, Sahid, a few words. It seemed very natural for her.
Ask her to come here.
You must compose yourself. Remember your condition. And just because the fact that she speaks a little Hindustani may mean nothing at all. Don't prepare yourself for another disappointment.
Oh, no.
I believe it is the same child, but I should not have known her.
Mikey got away with him. He came to my garret window last night, and I took him in because it was so cold. I would have brought him back earlier if it hadn't been so late. I knew you were ill and might not like to be disturbed.
Oh, that was very thoughtful of you.
I gave him to the last guard when I came inside, but he asked me to stay. Am I in trouble?
Oh, of course not, child. Take your own loss. How do you know he's the Lascar?
Oh, I know Lascars. I was born in India.
Where are you? Come now, you live next door, do you not?
Yes, sir. I live in Miss Minchin's.
And she runs the boarding school, but you are not a pupil there, are you?
I don't know what I am.
Why not?
Well, at first I was a parlor boy and a pupil, but now
Now what?
I sleep in the garret next to the scullery maid. I run errands for the cook and teach little ones their lessons.
Hey, you poor little thing.
Question of mine. I cannot.
What do you mean, at first, child?
When I was first taken there by my papa.
Where is your father?
My papa died. He lost all his money and there was none left for me, and so...
No, Michael's.
So you were sent up to the garret, made a little drudge. Is that about it, isn't it?
There was no one to take care of him. I belonged to nobody.
How did your father lose his money?
He didn't lose himself. He had a friend he was very fond of. He was very fond of him. It was his friend who took his money. I don't know how. I don't understand. I guess he trusted his friend too much.
But the friend might not have meant to do harm. It might have happened as an accident.
But the suffering was just as bad for my papa. It killed him.
Oh, Michael's...
I think I must go.
Where is she?
You wait here, ma'am.
I most certainly will not. This is a matter of the utmost importance.
Pardon me, madam, but Mr. Carrisford is not willing to see visitors.
Well, I am sorry to disturb Mr. Carrisford, but I must see him at once, please.
You will wait here, madam. Sahib, the mistress of the school next door has come for the child.
I have explanations to make. I am Miss Minchin, the head mistress of the select seminary next door.
You're Miss Minchin?
Yes, I am, sir.
You have arrived just in time.
I have come to make an apology. It appears a charity pupil of mine has intruded here without my knowledge.
There, it's all right.
You are still here. The forwardness of such conduct. You shall be severely punished. Go home at once. At once.
Please don't take her away. Please don't let her go.
They can't leave now.
Stand back, madam! Absolutely, of course she's going. Excuse me. I'm very sorry for this disturbance. Come on.
Papa? Papa? Papa?
Who are you?
Papa, is that you?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Papa, it is you, Papa.
Come on.
Papa, please.
Quiet, you are nonsense.
Please.
No,
Sarah.
Do not let her leave.
This is absolutely...
Papa. Papa, don't you know me? Look at me, Papa, don't you know me? I still know you. My heart knows you, Papa. Don't you know me? I'm your Sarah. The night may be dark, the days may be cold, still the stars above will shine. Life may get hard, but you'll be alright, for I hold your heart in mine.
Sarah?
It's me, Papa.
Sarah, how could I have not recognized you? Look how much you've grown. So different from the little girl in my dreams.
I've missed you so much, Papa. I thought you had left me forever.
I'm so sorry, Sarah.
What is the meaning of this?
This means that Sarah is done with you, madam. Done with you, done with her misery, and done with that garret.
I won't stand here and listen to such insults. This is all you're doing, isn't it? Another one of your stories. You're coming back to the school this moment.
Miss Minchin, this will not do.
How dare you interfere? How dare you? She's going back to my school if I have to call the police.
You may call the police. We may call the police, but it will not be by you. Sarah will not leave this place.
And what do you mean by that?
I am Mr. Carrisford, lawyer, and I've been searching for his business partner and friend, Captain Crewe, who was presumed dead.
Presumed dead.
As you can see, Captain Crewe has been found, and his fortune has been restored.
Sarah's fortune.
So you see, the police may be called, but it will not be by you. You have no right to Sarah. You will not starve, neglect, or abuse her again.
I may have been firm with Sara, but it was always for her own good. I did not cast her out into the street, as would have been my right under the circumstance.
All right. How dare you?
Yeah, I dare because it is the truth. Now, of course, Sara will return with me to school and finish her education. I may not have spoiled you, perhaps, dear, but I have always been very fond of you.
Have you Miss Minchin? I did not know that.
Oh, of course I have. Now, will you not return with me and reunite with your friends?
No. You know I want to go home with you, Miss Minchin. You know.
Well, then you shall never see your companions again. Are you willing to give them up? Ermengarde, Becky, Hattie, Lottie, Kate?
She will see anyone she wishes.
And rest assured, the parents of those children will know exactly what kind of mercy you show those left in your care.
Ramdas, show this lady out. That will be all, Miss Minchin. Your bill will be paid.
Goodbye.
I've never been so insulted in all my life. How dare she think she can so easily dismiss me after all that I've done for her?
Pray tell, sister, what is it you believe you have done for Sara?
Oh, you keep silent.
No, I will not. I'm often afraid to say things to you for fear of making you angry. And I know I'm not as clever as you, but perhaps if I were not so timid, it would be better for the school and for both of us. I've often thought that it would have been better if you'd been just a little less severe on Sara Crewe. I know that she was only half dead.
How dare you say such a thing?
I don't know how I dare, but now I've begun, I may as well continue. Whatever happens to me, Sara was a clever child, not a good child. She would have hated you for any kindness you had shown her. Oh, and you didn't show her any. The fact was, she was too clever for you, and she always disliked you for that. You always disliked her for that reason. But she saw through us both.
Amelia!
She did. She did. She saw through us both. She saw that you were a hard-hearted, worldly woman and that I was a weak fool, and we were both of us mean and vulgar enough to grovel on our knees for her money and just behave ill to her when it was taken from her. Though she behaved herself like a little princess, even when she was a beggar.
I'll not stand here and listen to such nonsense.
Oh, yes, sister, you will. It is past time you heard all of this and more. Because of your cruelty, you lost Sara, and some other school will get her and her money, and we will be ruined. And if she's like any other child, all of our pupils will be taken away, and it will be all our fault, and it will serve us right. But it will serve you right more than it does me, because you are a hard woman, Mariah Mitchell. You are a hard, selfish, worldly woman.
Never again wait to anything other than happiness.
I have a feeling I should be thanking you very much, sir.
I have cared for you for much longer than today. It does my heart good to see so much happiness, where there once was so much sadness.
You cared for me even before you knew me?
Yes, my dear, he did. He saw you and felt sorry for you, so he sent Ramdas to you through your garret window to try to make you comfortable.
Did he tell Ramdas to do it? Did he tell Ramdas to bring the things? Did he make the dream that came true?
Yes, my dear. He's kind and good, and he felt sorry for you.
You said the things, the beautiful things. You said them.
Yes, dear child, I did.
Then it is you who are my friend.
And mine, always mine. How will I ever repay your kindness and loyalty?
There is nothing to repay.
Oh, but sir, there was another little girl. She was as lonely and cold as I was. Could you save her too?
Yes, indeed. Who is she?
Her name is Becky. She's the scullery maid. She is somewhat with me, and Miss Minchin is throwing her out into the streets. She was the prisoner in the next cell to me.
Michael, you shall take care of her. Bring back to us the prisoner in the next cell.
We are so very glad you were found.
And you will never be so lost again.
I didn't even know I was lost, and now I'm found. I can't quite believe it.
We have both been found, and I'm certain we have many stories to catch up on.
That we do, Papa, but this is the most wonderful story of all.
Sure is nice not having to see the Princess Sara and her scully little rat around here anymore.
I just wish you'd taken the rest of her misfits with her. That would have been too much of a kindness towards us. At least we don't have to hear her little stories anymore. We've heard enough of those to last a lifetime.
Just ignore them. They're as jealous as always.
Will Sarah ever come back to the school, Army?
I don't think she will come back to the school again, Maddie. I know you miss her, but she's had a lot of bad memories for her here.
Will you ever go to Sarah's new house to play?
I think so. I don't know how much longer her stay with that nice man, but she said we can both come over soon.
Ermengarde, how's Lottie?
She couldn't be happier. She's at home where she isn't treated as a servant, but as a friend. I think I may even meet her a bit.
She lived many hard years to get over where she is. But you're right, next to Sarah, she probably is the most fortunate of us all.
And the least fortunate is Miss Minton. It's a good thing she left what she did, or we might not have a school to go to anymore. So many students were going to leave.
When my parents found out what happened to Sarah, they threatened to remove me from the school.
My parents did too.
I heard Miss Amelia arguing with Miss Minchin all night. I didn't even know Miss Amelia could yell.
It's a good thing she left what she did. A good riddance.
Are you happy now that Miss Amelia's in charge?
Really happy.
It feels like a brand new school.
And they didn't even have to change the name.
Oh, Sarah looks so wonderful now that she's back with her father. I really do miss her.
I miss her stories most of all. Everything that has happened to her is even better than one of her stories. She really is a princess now.
She certainly is.
So, what are you supposing now, Sarah?
I was indeed supposing. I was remembering one of my hungry days and a child I saw.
Will you tell me about it?
All right. I was so cold and hungry. There's another little girl who was even more hungrier and colder than I was, and I didn't think that was possible. Well, I found a nickel and was able to buy some bread. I shared it with her, and I could see how much it meant to her. Some days I would have given anything for a scrap of bread, and no one should have to hurt like that.
No child should ever be that hungry or cold or alone. What were you supposing about this little girl?
I was supposing a kind of plan. I would like to do something.
You may do anything you like.
Well, I was wondering if I could go see the banker. She was very kind. I'd like her to pay attention and notice the hungry children, especially on these dreadful days. Come and sit on her steps, or even look into her window. If they look to be in need of food, she might call them in and give them something to eat. Then she could send the bills to me. Could I do that?
You shall do it right now.
Oh, thank you. You see, I know what it is like to be hungry, and it is hard when one cannot even pretend it away.
Yes, it must be. Come, let us ask Becky and Ram Dass to help us prepare for your next adventure.
Extra, read all about it. Tax on whiskey raised. Extra edition, just a penny to buy it. Would you like a paper? Extra edition, would you like a paper, sir?
Well, thank you, young man.
Extra, read all about it.
Why, I'm sure I remember you, miss, and yet...
Yes, you once gave me 6 pieces of bread for a nickel.
And you gave 5 of them to a beggar child. I've never forgotten it. I couldn't make it out at first.
I beg your pardon, sir, but not many young people would notice a hungry face in a crowd that way.
Excuse the liberty, ma'am, but you look rosier and well better than you did that day.
I am better, thank you. And I'm much happier. But I've come to ask you to do something for me.
Why, me, miss? What can I do?
Well, I was wondering if you might keep watch for the children that are as hungry as I was that day. If they look to be in need of food, you might call them in and let them have some of your wonderful bread. I'd be happy to pay you for your generosity. And Becky, maybe you would help make sure the bills here are paid.
Yes, miss. I'm glad to help you, Miss Sarah. You might can tell the children we see, when you look out and know they need food, when they can go to get fed.
That is a wonderful idea, Becky. Would this be okay with you?
It'd be my pleasure, ma'am. I'm a working woman myself and can only afford to do so much on my own account, and there's trouble on all sides. But if you'll excuse me, I must say, I've given away many a bit of bread since that wet afternoon, remembering how cold and wet you were, and how hungry you looked, and yet you gave away your bread as if you were a princess.
She looked so hungry. She was even hungrier than I was.
She was starving. Many times she's told me of it since, how she'd sit there in the cold and wet, and it felt as if a wolf was tearing away at her young insides.
Oh, have you seen her since then? Do you know where she is?
I do, miss. She's in the back room and has been for about a month. And a well, decent, and meaning child she's going to turn out. She's such a help to me in the shop and the kitchen as you scarce believe, knowing how she lived. 1 second. Anne! You see, I told her to come to me when she got hungry, and she'd come and I'd give her odd jobs. I found she was well-meaning, and I came to like her. The short end of it is I've given her a place in a home. She's helpful to me and well-behaved, and as thankful as a girl can be. Her name is Anne. She has no other.
I'm glad. And I've just thought of something. Perhaps she would like to be the one to give the buns and bread to the children. Perhaps she would like to do it, because you know what it is like to be hungry too.
Yes, miss. I like that. And thank you, miss. I never say that day. I do thank you.
It was a pleasure meeting both of you. Thank you for your generosity. Here's a bit of money to help you get started. We will return soon to ensure that you have everything you need.
It was so nice seeing you. Bye.
Goodbye. Thank you for helping me.
Of course, Sarah. You make me very proud.
I hope to keep making you proud for a long time. I've learned a lot of things throughout this.
So tell us, what have you learned?
Well, I used to pretend all the time. I imagined warmth when I was cold. I thought of myself like a princess so that I could behave well towards others when they were cruel to me. Stories were a way for me to escape and create a place for me to be happy and have wonderful adventures.
Your stories are like magic.
Yes, little miss, they are indeed.
Pretending focuses your heart so that you can see the best in any situation. But sometimes pretending isn't enough.
Well, what do you mean, miss?
Sometimes you need a friend. When I was scared and alone, I gave my stories to you, and you gave me your friendship. We helped each other make it through, even through the darkest days and nights.
Oh, I didn't know I did that for you.
Becky, all the pretending in the world couldn't replace your friendship.
Friendship is powerful magic.
You see, the things that matter most are already a part of us and just waiting to be shared. Maybe our stories, our laughter, or our love. And by helping someone else improve their story, maybe ours will change for the better too.
It appears that my serious little girl has grown into a very wise young lady.
Very wise indeed.
And I did learn something else quite recently.
And what was that?
The very best stories are the ones with the happiest endings.